Now, in light of recent, conversations that's been going around, that's been actually triggered by the death of one starlet Wahoo. That was such a sad story. I'm sure you guys have seen it on the internet. But basically what had happened was this girl actually went home with somebody. We don't know where they met. I think they had a prior relationship before that, whether it was online or physical. But I don't know what happened, and this person allegedly killed her. And it is so sad. She was discovered the next day in an Airbnb. She's actually the sister to the famous Pastor Kanyare. And it's sad. You'd never think this is going to happen to you, or you think it's just a story going on the internet. Even those stories of, please be careful who you're talking to, on the internet. Be careful who you're hanging out with. Be careful who you go home with. We always think it's such a far-fetched story until it happens to somebody you're close to. And this death has shook a lot of tables, because there are more women who actually came out and said, this person is actually just crazy. He actually allegedly goes home with a babe, and then after things have happened, he just turns violent. He starts threatening you and telling you to get on your contact list,
extorting
and send money, to ask people to send you money, holds you for ransom. Imagine you're just hanging out, having a good time, and then somebody just turns over and is like, okay, now I need you to go in your contact list and tell people to send you money. It is so scary being a woman out here. And Sonko seems to have, the same sentiments. And he says, advice to men: when things are not working out with a woman, just leave them. And it's so simple. Just leave a person. And usually, people are so quick to be like, I'll get my lick back. You did that to me, I'll do something worse. It's going to be revenge. And it's not only men who do these very drastic things against other people. We also have women. You break up with a guy, what do? You cut up his boxers, cut up his shoes, destroy his house. We saw that man who was actually, who shot a video on the internet about how his girlfriend discovered that he was seeing somebody else, and she destroyed his whole house. TV, microwave, everything shattered, destroyed. Please, if things are not working out with somebody, for your own sake, just leave them. Just excuse yourself from the situation. Be the bigger person. If not for you, then for the embarrassment of your family. Because imagine your mom living with the trauma of your son is a killer, your daughter is a killer. Please, let us do better in this new year.
I feel like as parents, we need to also do better in general, because it's very easy for you to know and see signs of your child exhibiting signs that are a little wanting and a little, scary, and you intervening. The earlier you intervene, because children are children, they grow. Some of them just were born funny, and there's nothing you can do about it. However, you can mitigate it. You can try and intervene. You can try and get them counseling. You can try and get them the help that they need, because as a parent, you really do see your child being weird. Like people who end up becoming murderers, the stories we've watched so far, serial killers and otherwise, they exhibit signs from a very young age. We've seen people like Jeffrey Dahmer. Him used to kill fish, and they used to do roadkill with the dad. Like they just run over and collect all these funny dead animals, and then they'd go and, I don't even know, it was just a weird story. But in my mind, I'm like, okay, of course your child was exhibiting this, because why you and your child collecting roadkill? Like, why are you collecting dead animals on the road? That's kind of strange. And then obviously they will grow up and start to experiment even further. So in my mind, I'm just like, okay, obviously you will see some of the signs, yeah? So if you do see some of the signs, please try and help your child, because obviously that's a lot of trauma. Even them it's a lot really for a child to be suffering through. So please try and help your children early in advance. But for someone like John Matara specifically, and all the stories that we've heard of them, apparently there's a gang of like 11 people, and all of these guys do the same thing over and over again. I remember I read one of the stories where the woman actually solicited for sexual intercourse from him. Like it was like a paid thing, like she basically, he was a call guy for that particular incident, and when she ended up having intercourse with him, and he ended up extorting her and all of these things, she felt shame that she couldn't actually come out and say, hey, you know, this guy actually did this and this and this and this. She went quiet because obviously it's kind of weird for you to actually put yourself out there. But there's nothing wrong with going to the police and reporting it. At least they know he's on their radar. You know what I mean? We saw other stories of that girl who they ended up still doing the same thing, and then he extorted her, and then ultimately once the money was sent to him, he actually recorded a video of her masturbating, and then he said he threatened that if she ever told anyone, he would release that footage. And of course, in the back of your mind, you're going, oh my God, people are going to see me do this and this and the other. But in my mind, it's like, if you had told the police, if you had told someone, again, this is strike number 2 for this guy. They would have been on his radar, or he would have been on the police's radar. You see what I mean? It doesn't matter how shameful the incident was. It doesn't matter how embarrassing the situation is. It's very important that you put these things out there. And for all those other people who say things like NDAs are things that stop them from reporting a crime that was committed to them or was committed around them, I know for sure you can go and report it regardless of an NDA or not. If someone assaulted you or assaulted someone around you, you can report that. That's a stand to break an NDA, right? There's some things which you can break and it wouldn't affect you, or there wouldn't be any backlash to you. What is the point of my many examples? My many examples clearly just say this: if something happens, say something. Tell someone, you know, if you see something, say something. It will at least help someone in the long run. Because if this guy was reported a 3rd, 4th, 5th time, of course it would have saved someone's life in the end, you know. Of maybe Starlet would still be here with us, but at the end of the day, I think Mr. Sonko said it best. If something isn't working, just leave. It's never that serious.
True. Yes.